off-budget borrowing. One of the most sought after the details in any union budget is the level of fiscal deficit. So the fiscal deficit is important for any budget. As such, it is keenly watched by rating agencies both inside and outside the country. That is why most governments want to restrict their fiscal deficit to respectable number. One of the solutions to that is resorting to off-budget borrowings. Such borrowings are a way for the center to finance its expenditure while keeping the debt off the books. That is, the debt taken from the government, the debt taken by the government via this off-budget borrowing route are kept off from the books so that it does not account into the fiscal deficit. So that is not counted in the calculation of the fiscal deficit. So what actually is the fiscal deficit is? It is essentially the gap between the central government spending and what it earns. In other words, it is the level of borrowing by the union government. The fiscal deficit is the most important metric to understand the physical health or financial health of any government's finances. What are off-budget borrowings? The off-budget borrowings are loans that are taken by not by the center directly, but by another public institution which borrows on the directions of the central government. That is, loans loans not take not by the center directly, but by not by the center directly, but by the another public institution, but by the another public institution which borrows on the directions of the central government. Such borrowings are used to fulfill the government's expenditure needs. But since the liability of the loan is not formally on the center, that is, the liability is not on formally on the center, the loan is not included in the national fiscal deficit. This helps keep the country's fiscal deficit within the acceptable limit. So we discussed about the fiscal deficit. Revenue deficit is nothing but the amount of revenue created and the amount of revenue uh, put. And what is effective revenue deficit? Let us look the differences between the primary deficit and fiscal deficit. It is a difference between the fiscal deficit and the interest payments, and it is the excess of total expenditure over the total receipts. That is total expenditure in both capital and revenue assets, and the total receipts that we get from the capital and the revenue, but excluding the borrowings. That is the amount that we get excluding the borrowings. And primary deficit is nothing but suppose in the revenue deficits we pay, in the capital deficits we pay interest payments, right? That is the expenditure is made on the interest payments, so that is removed. It will gives us the exact primary deficit, that is how much exactly we are borrowing for this particular financial year. So that gives the idea for the primary deficit. It is a total borrowing requirement of the government excluding the interest, and it indicates the total borrowing requirements of the government including the interest. Primary deficit is equals to fiscal deficit minus interest payments. The fiscal deficit is equal to total expenditure minus total receipts excluding the borrowings. So the revenue deficit is basically the total revenue expenditure minus total revenue receipts, whereas the fiscal deficit is total expenditure minus total receipts excluding the borrowings. So, what is effective revenue deficit? Effective revenue deficit is the difference between the revenue deficit and grants for the creation of capital assets. It uses the concept of effective revenue deficit has been suggested by the Rangarajan Committee on Public Expenditure. That is Rangarajan Committee on Public Expenditure. It has suggested about the effective revenue deficit. It is aimed to deduct the money used out of the borrowing to finance the capital expenditure. The concept has been introduced to ascertain the actual deficit in the revenue account after adjusting for expenditure of capital nature. Focusing on this will help in reducing the consumptive component of revenue deficit and create a space for increased capital spending. If you look at the Indian government revenue and the expenditure it comes, the rupee comes from where the rupee comes from and the where the rupee goes to. Mainly, the rupee comes from the borrowings and the other liabilities, 21%, and the major chunk of the income comes from the corporation tax, income tax, corporation tax, income tax, and customs, service tax, and so on. Union excise duty, income tax, corporation tax, and customs, and so on. Uh, and union excise service tax, and this service tax means GST. Now this has been included into the combined, and rupee goes to the central plan, that is funds, and the share of states taxes devaluation with the help of the finance commission and also the interest payments and other non-plan expenditure, subsidies, defense, central plan assistance to the states, non-plan assistance to the states, and so on. So here clearly we can see that GST accounts for major source of India, nearly 28.5%, and others, and corporate tax and customs and income tax. So GST, corporate tax, and personal income tax are the major sources. In 2021 budget, according to the 2021 budget or economic survey, the major rupee comes in from the borrowings and other liabilities. After the borrowings and liabilities, the major chunk comes from the GST. After GST, corporation tax, and after corporation tax, after GST, the income tax, and after income tax, the corporation tax. So these three, GST, income tax, and corporation tax, order is important. GST, income tax, and corporation tax. So this is where the rupee comes from.